Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. Finally, a non-embarrassing episode, or non-embarrassed episode to talk about.
Yeah.
And Nate looks very confused if you're not watching, if you're just listening. He's really crunching the numbers here on something. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm trying to figure out the last time that this team didn't completely piss me off. Because it's been a while.
Has that ever happened?
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not rainbows and butterflies still, even in those two games. Not to be the Debbie Downer on it. I'm appreciating that we won back-to-back games. Only the third time that we've done that this season, which also we have 8 wins on this season. And 6 of them have been back-to-back wins, which is interesting
which is
to me.
Cool. Yeah. And also, we're now no longer last in the league. So
that's where
that's
it's
where you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I don't mind if we lose, just as long as it's not embarrassing. I don't mind being last because Connor Bedard.
Yeah, we can be last. We just can't be embarrassed when we're in last.
Yeah, exactly. Let me take a look at the standings here. Oh, okay, that makes me feel better, actually. We may be in 31st, but Chicago still has 3 games in hand on us.
Yeah.
It's fine, everybody. We're
but
okay.
Also, it's Chicago. Are they going to win 2 out of those 3 games to leapfrog us? When their points percentage says that they might win 1 out of 3?
Max Domi, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and who's the other guy on the first line there this year? It's Max Domi, it's Kane, I forget who the other guy is right off the top of my head. If they have anything to say about it, though.
Yeah. Isn't it embarrassing when, you're trying to think of just, a popular player in the NHL and you can't when, it's...
Well, Chicago's had such
a job to remember.
Chicago's had such a shakeup over the last 2 years alone that I unless you are a Blackhawks fan, I don't really blame you if you can't think of kind of the main guys on the roster, except for a Taves, a Kane, and if you didn't know that Max Domi was on the Blackhawks, especially with how much he's moved around over the last few years, I wouldn't blame you.
Actually, you know what? I don't think we are forgetting anybody, because the other guys in their top 6 are Sam Lafferty, Philip Kurashev, and Taylor Radish. Were you thinking of Radish, maybe?
Who's the top left?
Sam Lafferty. There is Athanasiou, but he's down on the 3rd line now.
Maybe it was Lafferty that I was thinking about then.
I don't know. I think he's doing okay. I even checked their injuries, and they don't even have any guys out. So yeah, I think it's literally just those 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was someone else too.
Okay, you know what? Then for the top line, then let's just go with Domi and Taves. If those 2 have anything to say about it.
Yeah, there you go.
So Domi and Kane. Jesus Christ. Taves is running the 2nd line now, which I know there's been a lot of talk about him, the fit with Colorado.
Oh, really? I haven't even heard
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But those are 2 guys as well that that whole situation is still, from many aspects, it's still just really odd, not great, holding back Chicago's future. Like I said, a lot of different angles on that. Basically, I don't think those 2 are going to leave Chicago, though, unless they want to go to another team for one more chance at a cup.
Yeah,
right? Those two guys aren't guys that are still chasing one. Having great careers, right? Those are guys that have them already. Yeah. So if they were to just say, you know what, I just want to stick with this team for the rest of my career, kind of thing, right?
It's kind of a Getzlaf situation, right?
Yeah. I know people are looking at Kane in particular, just with his cap hit right now.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, is that not done?
I think he's in the last year of it. Yeah, both of them are done this season, actually, Kane and Taves.
Yeah, so... And they're UFAs at that point.
Yeah. And they're only 34, which for an NHL player is a lot, but guys still play into like 35, 36. So
Yeah,
like,
it's like 34 is like 34 is like the new 32 almost, right? Like the years of how long you can keep your I'm really struggling with words today. Hockey players are just better conditioned overall
yeah,
in today's NHL compared to hell even 10 years ago kind of thing,
yeah,
right?
they're just set up to last longer in the NHL just based
Yeah.
off of like how they treat their bodies, how injuries are treated now, how you prepare for games, and how you
Yeah.
prepare like all of that stuff. Right?
Guys aren't
Yeah.
typically like smoking 1 or 2 cigarettes in between intermissions anymore and stuff like
And
that.
yeah,
So
like jamming pizza and carb loading like immediately before the game or in intermissions, like all that stuff.
I still go by the carb loading aspect of I still love a fucking plate of fettuccine Alfredo
Oh
before I
yeah,
play a game. I still
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some guys still do that, but it's not to the extent that it was like a few years ago, where it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, games at or puck drops at 5 and it's 4:30. Let's jam as much pasta in my face as I can. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna
Okay, I
have this
didn't go
big
that
carb
far,
meal.
but
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna have this big carb meal at like say 2:33 in the afternoon. Puck drops 5, kind of thing.
yeah.
Or,
Or puck
something
drop
like
at
that.
7 even, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Actually, I didn't realize that. I thought they had played it. Kane and Taves are actually set to play their 1,000th game in the NHL and sorry. God, the wording of this is weird. Kane and Taves will play their 1,000th game as teammates when the Blackhawks face the New York Rangers
Okay. So
on
1,000th
Sunday.
game together on Sunday.
Yeah, so today.
Oh, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because I think they've each played 1,000 games.
They've
right?
each played 1,000, haven't they?
You would. Well, I mean, if they're playing the thousands together, then obviously they would have had to. Unless
Okay,
they've
yeah.
literally
So
played every single game together.
no, well, Taves alone had injuries.
Yeah.
Or he had that illness as well, and that kept him out for what was that the 2021 season, that shortened one, I think it was. No. The article here though on NHL.com does go further. So Taves and Kane are the 11th set of teammates to play 1,000 regular season games together,
Oh wow.
and the second active duo to do so. The other one is LA
Crosby and
Kings.
Malkin? Oh.
No, LA Kings Drew Doughty and Anze Kopitar.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess Crosby and Malkin have each had injuries that have kept them out for a while.
Another Chicago pairing of Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook played 1,069 games together between 2006 and 2020. Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Blackhawks are 530, 346, and 123, where in games that Taves and Kane have played together.
530.
Like,
wow.
Yeah, 530 to 346 to 123.
I would have thought the wins would be a lot higher. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a fantastic number.
Yeah. Well,
that's just over 50% that you've won with both of them in the lineup.
Okay, so 530 plus 346 plus 123. Oh, yeah, 999 games.
Yeah, there we go.
Idiot.
I was just going to let you figure that one out.
2 points per game. So, yeah, 1,998 possible points. And then 530 plus 123 times 2. Okay, so 1306 divided by 1998. As teammates, they have a 65 point percentage.
Okay.
So that's pretty damn good, honestly.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Because I guess just for
Um,
comparison's sake, like this season, that would be good for like, 6th, 7th in the league.
Yeah.
Like Dallas is at a 656 points percentage, which I guess they're 6th in points, not in points percentage. It'd be top 10 anyways, for sure. Top 10 in the league. If they were a team.
And the 34-year-olds have combined to factor into 298 goals.
Damn. Again, I feel like that should be higher, but I guess they played on opposite or on different lines for a good.
No, they played on the same line for a good chunk of it. It was Taves centering Kane and whoever they wanted to put on the left side.
298.
See, now the pairing that I'm curious to know, because there's going to be a thing about records, I guess, on this episode.
Yeah.
I want to know where Draisaitl and McDavid plays, because that's a pairing that I feel like could shatter.
For
at least like a
together
Kane and Caves thing, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I just wonder like what the for like the record for goals. Well, this is where we need like access just to like the Sportsnet stats admin.
Yeah, right.
Just like it's like poking. It's like telling a monkey to do something. Hey, what's this? Hey, what's the record for that? What's the record for this? Just for like some of the obscure stuff that they throw out there sometimes.
Yeah, right. I feel like every time the Oilers play like Chicago or Pittsburgh or LA, like that have those guys that have just been playing together for an insanely long period of time, they always show, and even if it's just like for the season, they show like, oh, McDavid and Draisaitl have combined for like 65 goals in like 65 games this season.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's always just like insane shit like that. When's this Bar Down article from?
What's going on, everybody? This is the Quack Report, an Anaheim Ducks podcast. The Ducks have won 2 games in a row, and we're talking about the Blackhawks, apparently.
The Blackhawks, the Oilers, and the Kings, even. Like, yeah.
Welcome to the show about 2 guys that can't stay on topic to save their life.
Yeah. I honestly feel like there's like on the records.nhl.com, they have this like combined goals record.
Okay, so where I was where I was originally going with this, yes, Caves and Kane.
Who? Sorry.
My God. Sure, you know what? We're actually no. You know what? We're giving the celebrity
the couple names.
The couple names, yeah.
Yeah.
Caves is in their last year of their contract at $10.5 million each. Holy shit! You know what though? Yeah. Like those were definitely pay me for what I did contracts.
Oh, 100%.
But
because when did they sign those? It was like just after their first cup, wasn't it? And they were like 10-year contracts or something.
No, they signed those after what was it 10, 13, and 15 for the Chicago Cups? So they signed those after those 3 cups, actually. They signed that for the 15-16 season.
Oh, damn. Oh, so those were actually only 8-year deals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
God, and then that makes me feel old. Yeah, it's been 8 years since the last Blackhawks Cup. What the fuck? Okay, cool. All right. Existential crisis time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like what you did for me contracts, which warranted for sure. As much as I have not great feelings about the 2010 Cup run anymore. Not even as a Blackhawks fan. I can only imagine how like actual Blackhawks fans feel, and I have a few friends that are, and I've kind of asked them about it, and like they don't feel great about it. Very much warranted, I think.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they could definitely. I don't know. Okay, this is why are we breaking down the Chicago Blackhawks right now and like their
no idea
contract situation? Anyway, in my opinion, Kane could still get a good payday. Like the guy's still playing very well. Taves has had some issues that have been out there, obviously. Like physical, like health issues.
Yeah.
But I think out of the 2 of those, Kane's the guy that could go into UFA and still grab like, honestly, at least 7. I feel like
probably because he's still producing at such a high clip.
Yeah. Because what's he at right now? We'll figure out what he's at, and then we can move on to.
Yeah.
I love how we're prolonging talking about wins.
It's just become a habit at this point that we prolong talking about these games because like we want to talk about something different.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's ridiculous. How's everyone doing? I know we have this is a pre-recorded episode, But we're
Yeah.
gonna do this Dora the Explorer style,
Yeah.
as we're searching this stuff up. How are you doing today, everybody?
That's great.
I'm doing well, also. throwing myself into existential crisis. Oh man, we have too much fun with this show sometimes, honestly.
Sometimes, yeah.
As much as we want to like bang our heads into like through a wall,
Yeah.
we have fun with it still.
Which is good. Well, that's why people tune in, I feel.
Patrick Kane this season has still put up 22 points in 29 games.
20. Damn. On the
20
last place team in the league.
Yeah. 4 goals. So like his goal scoring is not there, but his assists though, he's still putting up 18 assists. Like he's still very much a contributor.
Yeah.
Which I know, like we know that there are teams out there looking for that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of there's some players that are just synonymous with a specific jersey that it feels really weird to see them in anything else in their careers, right?
Yeah. Like, could you imagine Kane in anything else?
Yeah, like it'd be weird.
Yeah.
And John,
100%.
and just because I brought it up earlier of like just like there's just talk about it, like of a fit. Like Taves on Colorado. He would also not be the only Taves on that team. There's also Devin Taves.
Yeah, that's yeah. That would be weird. Like, do you just give Taves like the only, like his nameplate only says Taves, and then Devon Taves gets the D Taves? Because I feel like
I guess
Taves
it's Devon. Yeah, sorry, not Devin. No, I think they still.
I think they technically have to.
I feel like rule wise, they still would have to have like J Taves, D Taves.
Yeah. Exactly.
The one for me though, always Martin Brodeur and the St. Louis Blues.
Oh yeah.
That's always oh yeah, right. That happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird.
It is.
Just to kind of answer what we were talking about McDavid and Draisaitl, most goals combined on by teammates. This was posted December 9th by at SN Stats, Sportsnet Stats on Twitter. So not too long ago. About 10 days ago by the time you guys are hearing this. McDavid and Draisaitl have combined for 28 goals this season. Next highest is a 4-way tie between Crosby and Gensel, Skinner and Thompson, Tage Thompson, in case you don't follow Buffalo, Hintz and Robertson of Dallas, and Kucherov and Point with Tampa at 21 goals.
Jeez.
So 28 for McDavid and Draisaitl, 21 for the other ones. And then there's also a number from last season, March 20th, 2021. Oh, I guess that's 2 seasons ago. Is that not?
Yes.
Fuck me.
Right.
Wow. Which was the shortened season that started in January. So this would have been close to the end of this, or about halfway through the season, maybe. Because I think that one was January till May.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, it was 52 games without looking.
Yeah. Which makes sense for these numbers. So Draisaitl and McDavid at that point, 29 goals. Again, this is the most goals combined on by teammates, 29. Followed by Kane and DeBrincat at 23. So, yeah, Kane and DeBrincat now instead of Kane and Taves. But yeah, you kind of get the point. That's all I've really been able to find, just without getting too into the stats. But
man, Chicago really went for tank mode this year, didn't they? Getting rid of
oh yeah,
DeBrincat and Doc.
Yeah, and trading Fleury away last year, signing Seth Jones to $9.5 million as your top defenseman. That's how you tank properly, guys.
I don't know. To be fair, I feel like if Fleury wasn't traded to Minnesota, he might have retired. I feel like actually,
Probably. Yeah.
Because last year was the last year on that deal.
Yeah.
I think the reason he went to Minnesota was, or at least part of the reason that it was, was because Bill Guerin's the GM, and he and Guerin go way back to like Guerin was a player on the Pittsburgh Penguins for the 2009 Cup.
Right. Yeah.
So like they have history together.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Guerin kind of set him up this year to be the guy, right? Trading off Cam Talbot and yeah. So for Chicago, I feel like that was maybe the right move. They got something out of Fleury
for sure.
at least.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree, 100%. But
yeah, man, like just like getting rid of those two guys, because like I don't think Chicago. Honestly, I don't think Chicago makes those moves if Connor Bedard is not the guy that you're going for this year.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise it's okay, we go through one more year, Taves and Kane are either elsewhere, or we can hopefully get them at a lot lower than 10.5 million. Right? And you build from there.
Yeah.
So
either way, it's kind of a win-win for Chicago, because you either get these guys as like veterans in the locker room at like a significantly reduced price, or you trade them at the deadline to a contender if they want to chase a cup, and you get just a massive return for them. And then you get Connor Bedard the next year.
The thing though for both of them, and it sounds like it's maybe going to be, it sounds like we might actually see a lot of three-way trades before the deadline. Because that's the only way that teams are able to facilitate it. Yeah.
Yeah. The teams that are pushing for a cup don't have the cap space. So the teams like Anaheim and Chicago that do have some cap space, or can use it as an asset to for this season to, you know, make it so that they can actually make deals, and they'll actually probably end up getting more because the cap is so tight, because you're getting asset A for the player and asset B for retaining half of the salary.
Yeah.
Or if you're even just the intermediate, like say Kane goes to Anaheim and then goes to New York, then Anaheim gets an asset for taking on half of that deal, and then they trade part of it to New York to then get the so New York gets essentially, what would that be, only 25% of his salary, because you do half. Chicago retains half, and then Anaheim retains half of the half.
And that's also,
and then we get like a second round pick for the efforts, or whatever, or a third, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's also like 25% of what's left to pay for the season.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. But it's how it has to be done. So we could see a lot of players becoming Anaheim Ducks for like a hot 5 minutes.
Yeah, just a split second. So.
Yeah, and usually when that happens, it's like, oh my God, this player to Anaheim. And then you're like, what the fuck? Where is this coming from? Then it's like, oh, nope, three-way deal. Anaheim is just taking cap. Or it's like, say, who else is on Chicago that they might not give a single fuck about? We'll say like, we'll even go down to like their non-roster players. Like, oh, it's Kane and Colton Dach, who I'm assuming is Kirby Dach's brother or cousin or related in some way. Actually, you know what? Here we go. Let's do this. Patrick Kane and good old Anaheim Ducks legend Buddy Robinson to Anaheim. And then Anaheim gets Buddy Robinson but trades away Kane in the three-way part of the deal. So you can see a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Shall we get into these games?
Let's actually talk about the Ducks, yeah.
Yeah.
24 minutes.
Actually, sorry, before we do that, just...
oh my God.
No, it's important. Just some housekeeping stuff, because we're approaching the holidays, and we obviously are not going to be recording on Christmas Day, and you guys don't want to even hear us on Christmas Day, probably. So what we are doing, we had potentially talked about... I just knocked my pen on the floor. That's okay. We potentially talked about doing a live stream this Wednesday. That's not going to happen, but we will be doing the post-game live stream like we've done in the past, immediately after the Wild game. And then Thursday, the whole episode with the post game talk and then whatever we record before the game will be available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast normally. The following Monday, the 26th, there'll be no episode since we normally record on the Sundays, and that's Christmas. So we're not doing that.
And Boxing Day, y'all are going to be shopping anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You can't even have headphones in on Boxing Day because like you might get shoved over. You won't hear the angry Karen coming at you from the blind side, going in for the tackle as you grab that last PS5. So,
oh man,
yeah, you want to be doing that. On the 29th,
even readily available yet?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, on the 29th, which is the Thursday, there will be a pre-recorded episode that we'll be doing in a couple days here with a sort of holiday theme. We're not going to talk about games or anything like that, but it will be probably, I would guess, half an hour, 40 minutes ish, talking just about the Ducks in general, sort of like a mid-season review type of thing. So no live stream on the 28th, pre-recorded on the 29th. On the 2nd, we're not going to be doing an episode either, which is the Monday kind of following the New Year's Day.
Yeah, because Sunday is New Year's Day, and if it's anything like last year, I might be nursing a pretty hefty hangover.
Yeah, you're not. No one's gonna want to listen to that anyways. So,
yeah. Which fun fact, actually, last New Year's Day was the first time I've ever actually experienced a hangover.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like. Great.
So, with all that said, no episode next Monday. No episode. Or sorry. Let me start over. Scratch that. In summary, post game on this Wednesday, kind of like we've done before. No episode next Monday. A pre-recorded episode for in between your Christmas and New Year's Day on the Thursday. No episode on the Monday following New Year's Day. And then on the Wednesday, in the beginning of January 4th, we will be doing our live stream just like usual. Actually, there's a game that day, so it's the late live stream again.
Yeah.
Post-game talk. And then everything available again on Thursday the 5th. So back to normal on January 4th. Hope that made sense to everybody. So that is what you can look forward to for the next couple weeks of TQR there. So
yeah, I can make a visual schedule as well and post it on Twitter and Instagram.
That will absolutely be there. But just for those that don't follow us on the social media, but listen, that is what's going on. So, I mean, obviously you probably won't be shocked if you look on Boxing Day and, there's no TQR episode. Yeah. It makes sense.
But at least for like New Year's and like just basically after Christmas, we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Just adjust the schedule that way. So, and you'll hear this all again on Wednesday, just in case, or Wednesday/Thursday, just in case. But yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, let's do it. So
we won.
Yeah.
We won back to back.
The Montreal Canadiens.
We won back to back in regulation.
Yeah. And first game all year long that we won a game not decided by one goal against the Canadiens. So, yeah. I mean, it was essentially a one goal game because 2 empty netters, but on the scoreboard, 5-2. So, and just overall, pretty solid game. Like there was, like that was Anaheim's game. That was the way you wanted to see them play. So,
yeah, absolutely. It was a pretty low event game overall.
Of course, that's what we expected from Anaheim and Montreal. But
yeah, final shots were 32-25 in favor of Anaheim. But it was still a solid game, though, I thought.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought there. What was I gonna say? Look at the notes, Nate. Look at the notes. I picked up a couple things. Zegras. Again, one of the reasons to watch Anaheim Ducks hockey is Trevor Zegras and just what he does. And on John Klingberg's first goal, which we'll get into that, don't worry. Zegras' move just breaking Gooley's ankles.
Oh, chef's kiss.
Loved it.
Beautiful.
Gooley got burned twice in this game, actually, alone.
Yeah. Sorry, is this? I can't remember. Is this the goalie that used to be in Anaheim, or is this his brother? This is Caden Gooley, is it not?
God, now you're making me think.
You don't know either. Okay.
It's Sunday. I can't think.
that's fair.
Let me. I will check here.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, it's Caden Gooley.
Is Caden Gooley? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, who I don't think was the one in Anaheim. No, because this is his first season in the NHL. What's his brother's name? Jeff? No, it's not Jeff. He's got a cooler name than that. Dayton? Dalton? Why am I forgetting this? And also, where is he playing?
Is it Braden?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Isn't he in Seattle? Or is it Brendan? I think it's Brendan Gooley.
Brendan, yes. Brendan.
Brendan. Sorry, Brendan. I know that you're a Ducks.
Everyone's just like yelling at their like their car speakers right now. It's Brendan, you fucks.
The his pictures on NHL.com are still of him in Anaheim. That's funny. Wait, is he still in Anaheim? Oh no, 21-22 is just the last time he played in the NHL, where he played 6 games. So where is he now?
It says currently he's in San Diego. I don't remember seeing him.
There's no way. What?
No, he's in Germany.
Okay, gotcha.
He is in Germany.
I'm sorry. Does Elite Prospects now have a limit on how many pages you can view?
I don't know. Because I'm on Elite Prospects right now, and I found he's playing for Berlin in the Dell.
Okay. Wow. Damn.
He's played 7 games, racked up 6 penalty minutes, no points.
Yeah. Oh, you have to make a free account on Elite Prospects to be able to view unlimited pages on their website. That's dumb.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, well, we figured out where Gooley is.
Makes sense. I have an account, so.
But okay. Yeah, but poor Braden or poor Caden Gooley with on that goal by Klingberg and that move by Zegras. But yeah. That was nice. Love to see it.
Good stuff.
I love a good ankle snapping. So.
Yeah. Everybody else, just like as a whole, though, I want to say, and I guess this kind of leads into some of our advanced stats there. The deserve to win meter on moneypuck.com showing a 66.8% in favor of Anaheim, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
And the expected goals lines up as well. 4.32 for Anaheim, 1.93 for Montreal.
Yeah.
Just everybody overall just looked better. And I know this is against Montreal that hasn't been doing fantastic this season either. But Montreal is currently sitting 24th. They're 14, 15, and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, their last 10 kind of looks like ours as well. They're 3, 6, and 1. Ours is now 3, 5, and 2. So like,
yeah.
Fairly even teams, I guess, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost lean more towards Montreal because of Martin St. Louis.
Competent coaching, in other words.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna give credit to myself even for this win. Because I put money down that the Montreal Canadiens would win this game. I disregarded my own rule about not betting on your own teams.
And look what happened.
Because I put down on a 12-game parlay. There were 12 games that day. And so I was looking for a big payday. I didn't put a whole lot of money down. Don't worry, everybody.
Yeah.
I put down like $1. I think it was what it was.
Yeah.
Which
if you get 12 games correct, it's like it fucking explodes. Like because the odds are just insane.
It was if I got all 12 games right, I think the payout was $430.
Yeah.
So which
promo
would have
code
been
THPN on DraftKings Sportsbook, by the way.
Which would have been very nice. But yeah, that was the first. I don't worry, I didn't get like 11 out of 12 right, and this is the game that fucked me up. This is just the first one that fucked me up.
Yeah.
But of course, so I put money down on the Anaheim Ducks losing. This is the second time I've done it this season. Both times that I have done it, they've won. So you're welcome, everybody.
So what I'm hearing is you need to bet on every game going forward.
What I'm hearing is that we need to have a GoFundMe that I'll just put the money on Anaheim to lose each game.
Well, it doesn't have to be much. What you said, you bet $1, so you could probably get away with like 50 cents on each game.
Yeah.
How many games we have left? because there's 82. We have played 32. 50 games times 50 cents. That's $25. Come on, we could do $25 to go 50-0 for the rest of the year. That's reasonable.
I'd rather spend that on sushi.
You just gotta have one less day of sushi. One day of ramen noodles instead of sushi, and we get to go 50-0. It's an easy bet for me, I think.
Yeah, but that means I have to go 7 days of ramen noodles. But yeah, it's just everybody in this game just looked better overall, right? Like the offense was going like just better. The defense still didn't look great, but looked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, let's even take a look. Actually, you know what? The defense didn't do too bad, I'm going to say. Because looking at Dostál's shot attempts, like danger levels, 1 shot attempt was a high danger, 7 medium, and 30 low.
Those were shots against, or chances against, sorry.
Yeah. Attempts against. So, yeah, that's not bad.
That's okay. Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll gladly take that. And again, like it was a low event game overall.
Yeah.
The worst defensive pairing 5-on-5 for expected goals against. Vakanainen and Shattenkirk at a .37. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. like for that being your worst at and that's the line that actually played the most 5-on-5. 8 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, the defense tightened up, and again, like everyone's gonna say like, yes, it's against Montreal. We've already established that. I'm just happy to see improvement here.
Yeah,
that's all I want. Just improvement. I just want to see somebody giving a shit.
Yeah, exactly. And
which is what we stressed the entire last episode, and I was talking about this with my girlfriend because like we make the joke every now and then of like, oh yeah, you know, somebody was listening because then they did it like the next game kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But like we make that joke. We made it that joke like almost enough times that I'm like, okay, either we're just kind of almost thinking similar things overall, which might also scare me a little bit considering how abysmal things have been at times. But like there are some times where it's like there was one episode we were talking about, like I think it was like the defensive lines or something like that. And the next game we were only one person off.
Yeah.
I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so like with like the last episode of like honestly both of us just going off on this team and calling out just the lack of effort like just overall from players, coaches, whatever. And even down to calling out like individual guys. Every single thing that like we went on was improved, at least in this game, I'll say.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was kind of laughing and I was like, do they actually listen, maybe?
Like... Yeah, right. I mean, one thing we've talked about kind of throughout the first bit of this season is like, yeah, the team sucks and it's way worse than anybody expected, but look at the turnover that we had from the trade deadline last season to essentially how we started this season. Like it is a drastically different roster. Like there is essentially no chemistry between there's very little chemistry between most of the guys. So like when the team is that different, there is a period that's like you're trying to find your identity and build chemistry, even just like with the guys on the bench that you're not even really playing with.
Yeah.
Like on the ice with, you know? So and that takes some time, and ideally, you know, it doesn't take that much time, but I think that the last 2 very, very embarrassing losses, well, even just the last week, because last Monday's episode was embarrassing. Was titled embarrassing, and then it was more embarrassing after that. Just that
is this episode just gonna be called not
less embarrassing?
Not so embarrassing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's do it. Not so embarrassing. But like
so embarrassing.
From the
it's the embarrassing trilogy.
Yeah, from the devastating loss at home to your state rival San Jose Sharks to getting shut out against the Ottawa Senators of all people, and then blown out 7-0. I don't care if it's the Toronto Maple Leafs 7-0.
Yeah.
Like, as an NHL team, you are embarrassed by that. I think that just brought the team together in a whole different way of like, this can't happen again. Like, this is quite possibly the lowest of the low of the season and of everybody's NHL career, whether it's your first NHL season or your 10th. But I think just experiencing that together and going through that rough patch just like bonded the team in a certain way, because this team still is not good, but they played like they were a way better team, like they were a wild card team at minimum.
Like there was actually like some glue holding the team together. Guys were playing for each other a little bit more.
Exactly. Like there was more of a willingness to block shots. There was more like, not that we didn't stand up for our teammates previously, but there was just that little bit more of like, even if Trevor Zegras or Mason McTavish just even took like a small bump after a whistle, there was some pushing and shoving. Whereas before, like that might have been let go until it was like an egregious, like David Kampf trying to take Zegras' head off type of thing.
And then it leads to Sam Carrick fighting somebody in the last 5 minutes when it means jack shit at that point.
Yeah, but just overall, like the team felt like a team in this game. And I think it's because of those embarrassing losses.
I have my own headcanon here as well. And we'll have to see what happens in this game against LA on Thursday here. Or sorry, no, not Thursday. I really have my dates mixed around, don't I? Tuesday. Yeah. Jesus.
All over the place.
My headcanon is after those 3 really bad losses, 2 of them being on the first of like a 5-game road trip. Pat Verbeek asked for a meeting with the players only, no coaching staff.
Yeah.
Guys, okay. I know we are really struggling, and I know there are individuals that are maybe not helping you in that respect, because Verbeek's been trying, it sounds like, to, talk about positives with the team after each game to like try to keep their spirits up, which, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you guys win, if you guys finish out this road trip with 3 wins, I'll fire the coaching staff. And everyone said, bet. We're going for it.
After the next loss, because you can't fire a coach after a win. But if you guys win on this road trip, the next loss you fire.
I've seen coaches get fired after a loss. Or after a win, sorry.
Well,
the Calgary Flames did, and then hired Daryl Sutter that night after beating Ottawa I think it was like a 3-goal spread, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't fire a coach after a win, but yeah. Before we move on to the Oilers, just because we took quite a while at the beginning of the episode, we're going to take a quick break now with DraftKings, and then because we don't have much after the Oilers game or really much to say about the Oilers game, I think now's a good time for a quick break. So we'll see you guys in 60 seconds. Promo code THPN at DraftKings at sign up will get you exclusive offers, and we will see you guys on the other side. Hockey fans, light the lamp this winter with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers can bet just $5 pre-game money line on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. If that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, so getting into the Ducks and Oilers game that happened Saturday afternoon. This is just a wild game. Before we get into advanced stats, let's start with basic stats. And I am going to be very objective when I talk about this one because I literally don't know how to feel, because I'm like, oh, yay, like, look at how good the Ducks were. And then I'm like, oh my God, how did the Oilers lose this game? So like,
okay, here,
there's like both sides of it, you know?
How about this? You be as objective as possible, and then I'll just lay it straight.
Okay.
You've heard me lay it straight off air, so you know what's coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So shots, just straight up shots on goal, 49-17 in favor of the Oilers. In the third period alone, shots were 23-2 for the Oilers.
Oof.
The special teams. Oilers 2 for 6 on the power play. Not great that the Ducks are giving up six penalties to the top ranked power play. But when you're the worst ranked penalty kill, going 4 for 6 against the top power play, you can't be mad about that.
What's the Oilers' power play percentage this year? I guess it would be.
It was just over 30%, like during the game. So now it would probably still be just over 30%.
Okay, so the Oilers technically still kept on pace.
Oh yes, they did.
Yeah,
but when you have a 76%, or what's it? No, 67%. Yeah, 67% penalty kill. I guess that's still on pace. I don't know. Yeah, it's. Yeah. I was just pleasantly surprised. Like it, I felt like it should have been. This is me being not objective. I felt like basically every power play the Ducks gave the Oilers should have resulted in a goal, just based off of where the teams were respectively.
And the start of the third also, remember, was a 5-on-3.
Oh right,
for Edmonton. So because you had Strome for holding on Connor McDavid, and then Kulikov tripping against Connor McDavid.
Yeah, and then on the Ducks side, 1 for 2 on the power play, which again was unexpected. Not that the Oilers' penalty kill is great, but the Ducks' power play is worse than the Oilers' penalty kill. So, but 1 for 2, not mad about that. And then in terms, the other one I want to point out here is blocks, which I feel like blocks never shows the full picture, and like people miss blocks, whoever counts them. But they were 13-9 in favor of the Ducks, and I feel like the Ducks should have had a lot more blocks than that. But
I can double check for you here with Money Puck.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, yep. Shot attempts blocked by teammates, 13 for the Ducks.
I guess maybe where that comes from for me is, yes, they maybe only blocked 13
shots. Oh yeah, no,
shots,
that's correct.
But yeah, they maybe only blocked 13 shots, but they were in the lanes preventing a shot from being able to be taken, like, quite a lot. Whether it was like, oh, somebody's winding up for a one-timer and then realizes that a Duck is in the way, so they have to stop the puck and try and create space and make another play there. Like they're just the positioning, especially on the penalty kill, was insane. And again, that's me being not objective anymore. But
let's put it this way. Edmonton danger shot attempts, 5 high danger shot attempps, which is like that does, it seems low, but that is quite a bit actually. Low danger, which is normally where you see the most, is at 39. Makes sense. And like for like a low danger shot includes like, like point shots and whatnot. Everyone says to like get it to the point, and like I do it as well, right? But like those are the goals that are normally happening if there's traffic in front. Yeah. For like, you're not gonna like lay one from the blue line and beat a goalie cleanly, like clear sight. Usually. Yeah. The one I'm looking at here though, which seems very like it's very high compared to normal, 25 medium danger.
Yeah, that is insane. That's
yeah.
So. Yeah, that one's absolutely nuts. Yeah, and then just in terms of other advanced stats here, deserve to win meter, 93% in favor of Edmonton. Are we surprised based off of all the stats we've already said? No.
Okay, so what was the worst? What was the worst one? What was that? Okay, no, it was that Toronto game was the worst one. I'm going to double check what that was. Because I said that was the highest I think I had ever seen and ever would see. So I'm going to double check what the Toronto one was here just to see if it's actually gotten worse.
It was very close to that, I'm sure.
Okay, it's running through the simulations here.
Okay. I know it also gives a slightly different answer every time too, because it is like actually calculating the simulation. So
with that, I'm going to bring up the past thing for like what we put down. So anyway, sorry.
92.3. 92.3 is what that one was. in our
Okay, so
outline.
that is so now 93 is officially the highest I've ever seen.
Next up, 93.7. Who's that going to be against? Vegas, probably. Yeah, we'll say Vegas next week.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see a 93.7. Yeah, and then expected goals 5.71 in favor of Edmonton and a 1.75 for Anaheim, which leads into the man of the hour.
Wait,
I was
sorry.
going to let you say this one because it's
okay. I was going to say sorry before we get into that man.
Okay.
Can I give my side?
Oh yeah. Oh sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because so like I said, you had the objective side because you're watching both teams and kind of seeing both. I guess in this case, I'm watching a little bit more from an Anaheim side. Folks, we got insanely lucky. Insanely fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Like this Ducks team for this game had a leprechaun shoved in a locker somewhere in the locker room. They all had rabbit's feet on them. They all had I think it's Wookiee's paws for like the Star Wars version of a rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chewbacca feels great about that one. They had for the Canadians on the team, they got a loony in center ice at Rogers Place. They also had like I guess for the Americans, because there's no pennies in Canada anymore, they all had a lucky penny on them. Anything that this team, and like they all followed their superstitions to a T.
Yeah.
This team just got insanely fucking lucky in this game. That's not to take away from the result of the game or anything like that. But like Carter said,
a win is a win.
A win is a win. But like Carter said, 93% in favor of Edmonton, and the expected we'll go rounded of a 6-2 game for Edmonton.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you say those stats, the shots, the blocks, the high danger chances, the medium danger chances, the power play stats. You would expect this to be a 6-2 win if you didn't know the score, if you just had the stats.
Does the praise insert name get moved from Ryan Miller from a few seasons ago now?
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Ryan Miller because he's fantastic. But what's we decided Lucas Dostál was Slovakian or Czechoslovakian?
Czech.
Okay. We're gonna
all hail. There you go. All hail instead of praise. All hail.
Don't we say all hail Gibson or all hail Zegras or something? We have an all hail.
Do we?
I thought we did.
I think it was
maybe
Zegras.
Not as much. I think so too.
Zegras just needs to be holy fuck Zegras.
Yeah. Okay. Pardon my very poor Czech.
Are you trying to say it in Czech?
Yeah. So I looked up on Google Translate what praise is in Czech, and apparently it is Chvala, CHVA with the accent like on Dostal's name, LA. So Chvala Dostál. Dostál. Chvala Dostál. That sounds very Czech. Chvala Dostál.
Or long live Dostal.
Long live.
How about that? Doesn't have to be in Czech. Just to keep like the praise off or the
long live Lucas.
Hail. Yeah.
The LLL.
All hail Lucas the First.
Yeah.
I know what's his Ducks jersey number?
That's a good question.
Why don't I?
Oh, he's one. He's number one. Which?
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Lucas the First. There you go. All hail Lucas the First.
Yeah.
I might have to make that a t-shirt.
I was just gonna say, I think you kind of have to, like, instead of the number one, just like a little, or have the number one and on the back, and then like a little ST.
Yeah. Where's my sticky notes?
Come on. But yeah, just this was an absolutely insane performance by Lucas Dostál. And like, you know what? He did kind of get some help from the defense. Like the defense wasn't horrid. Like, yeah, they gave up 23 to 2 shots in the third, which, okay. So that in that respect, yes, team defense, atrocious. But going back to what we were talking about in the Montreal game, where the team had all come together and was playing as a team, they knew that they basically had no chance of like getting the puck from Edmonton and, making the shots even in this third period. They essentially just accepted their fate that Edmonton was going to have ozone pressure for essentially 19 and a half minutes of this 20-minute period. And they just made it hell for them. They were in shot lanes. They were aggressive at the point. They were blocking shots. Honestly, I don't think, like, everybody had their zone in their kind of pseudo diamond shape, like their baseball home plate kind of shape. They just had their spot there, and they just didn't move from it. They would adjust slightly to be in the shot lanes and take away sticks and make whoever was trying to be that net front guy on Edmonton make their life hell, essentially. They sold out for defense on that game, in that period especially. That's what I think. And yeah, they still got 23 shots on net, but and they were probably medium danger chances, but they made it very, very difficult.
I'm looking at the shot map right now, and yes, the defense did. I'll say they helped.
Yeah,
I'll say they helped.
It's light years better in comparison. I think that's kind of where it's coming from, but
at the same time, long live Lucas the First. Because I'm taking a look, just as one example, the 13:20 mark of the third period was a shot by Zach Hyman, right at the left side of the crease. 29.8% of chance of scoring it was on a rebound as well.
Yeah.
Which that is fairly high. And that was a save. Here, I'll pull up the shot map actually, just for those that are watching, just so you can see what I'm talking about here really quickly.
Yeah. The Ducks defense definitely helped, but when their very limited experience and the shitty system put in place by Dallas Eakins was inefficient, Lucas Dostál came up massive.
Yeah, Anaheim got not a whole lot of great chances, let's be honest here. But just okay, how many is that here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 shots between the circles underneath the hash marks.
Yeah.
15 chances. And the smallest one, gauging by eyes, would have been this one right here, which was Derek Ryan, 4:30 left in the third. Oh, no, sorry, 15:31 left in the third.
Okay, which looks like a tip that went just wide of the net.
Yeah. So that was the least dangerous one in the slot.
Yeah.
15 slot shots. These are shots.
Or shot attempts, because if it goes wide of the net, that's not an actual shot, is it?
No. These are all shots that are listed. Shot on net, rebound shot, shot wide. Oh no, sorry, shot wide.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, can we? Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just scoring chances. Okay. Yeah, because I don't know if I can get to each individual one, but either way, that is 15 attempts in the slot alone. And just running over that really quickly for the majority of them, one was the tip was wide.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
So
okay, there's a second one. Goal shot, rebound shot. So it looks like 2 missed.
Yeah.
From what I can tell. Holy shit.
And Lucas Dostál saved all but one.
Yeah.
There was the one goal.
Yeah.
So
this kid has been playing, honestly, his time up here, he has been good. I said, I'm not putting the Toronto game on him.
No, yeah, you can't. We talked about that last time.
Yeah, and we talked about the Ottawa one as well. That just the guy's playing 5-on-0 basically for that game.
Yeah.
Right. and with a little bit of help in this game, obviously elevates his game a lot more because he's not having to do it on his own, right? Yeah, Dostal with a 939 save percentage and a 2.71 goal save above expected. This guy stopped 3 goals that should have been in. And also his 46 saves in this game, 46 saves, holy shit, put him 15th all-time single game saves by a Duck.
Damn.
And I think the record's 52 that was set by Gibson last year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, and also
as pretty close. So
yeah, and as I was looking through it as well, I am going to throw in a thing here as well from November 5th, the game against San Jose, that went into a shootout.
Oh, yeah.
Stolarz took the 11th all-time spot in saves in a game with 48.
Nice.
So just a shout out for that game as well.
I don't think we recognize that. So yeah, this is 100% Lukas Dostal stealing us a game, which I can't remember the last time a goaltender stole us a game.
Like to this, at least to this extent.
Yeah. Like Gibson is known for being able to steal games in Anaheim and for the Ducks, but I don't think it's happened to this extent this season. And I feel like it happened maybe once or twice last season, but I couldn't pick out the game just off the top of my head. But
yeah, now
this was nuts.
Yeah.
Is this giving you shades of St. Louis Blues here? 2019, bottom of the league, call up a goaltender that basically nobody outside of Anaheim has ever heard of, and he just puts up insane performances, upsetting the top teams in the league, carrying them into a wild card spot.
One glaring thing in your statement right there, these aren't top teams in the league. And it's only been 2 games.
Yeah.
It's Montreal in 24th as of Sunday, and it's Edmonton in 16th, who still lack defensively. And let's be honest, have lacked for the last 12 to 15 years defensively. And have never been able to recoup it.
Top team offensively is what I was saying. With that. Yeah. So, in an effort to avoid the Oilers discussion on a Ducks podcast that has already featured Blackhawks discussion.
Okay, so with that though, that's I'm not ready to go down that path yet. It's too early. It's against teams that are like middle to lower end of the pack. So I'm not going there yet.
Okay.
And again, not that I'm rooting for losses.
No.
But I'm not wanting to overly go down that St. Louis path. Unless the only way I'd be okay with that is if it came out like a full St. Louis thing with a Stanley Cup win.
Yeah.
Right? If not,
of course,
it almost kind of feels like for nothing.
Yeah.
So because that's a team that would then you don't want to. I bring up Calgary as an example here because one, yes, they did do what I'm about to talk about here, but also I got to see it firsthand. You don't want to run into an issue of Calgary in 2015 where they thought that they had the team for the future because they overachieved, right? That's a team that went to the second round of the playoffs, got swept by Anaheim, if I remember correctly. And, but then they left the team kind of as was for a number of years later.
Yeah.
And Calgary never really got to that point again until like 2019, got a gentleman's sweep by Colorado. So like we are talking very hypothetical here that Anaheim just goes on an absolute tear here.
That's true.
Nobody is expecting that.
Whereas with St. Louis, they were underachieving and then then went to overachieving and then now have kind of gone back to like where they should be in like the upper tier of the NHL, but like it's not like the Ducks who would just be overachieving at that point. Like we're not underachieving. No.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean, maybe a smidge, but not to the extent of like the Blues. So
was gonna say one more thing. Or actually, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so with that kind of whole thing in mind about Lucas Dostal, sorry, excuse me, Lucas the First, long live the king. With him coming,
Well, hey,
up
you're
now,
gonna upset the Rangers fans with that last statement.
they're not listening. So with that in mind, and this is not me saying that this should happen. This is a hypothetical. What now that we know what we have in Lucas Dostal and his ability to steal games and just put up solid performances, what do you do about John Gibson and Stolarz? We'll throw him in there as well, but let's start with Gibson.
You're not the first person to bring this up in the last couple of days, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is why I bring it up, because I've seen it as well.
Let me scroll. This it? Okay, yeah, found it. Okay, so this was a post on Reddit as well, like less than 24 hours ago, by Ducks fan 182. Please tell me that's a Blink reference. Thank you. Who just starts his post on the Ducks subreddit. Lucas Dostal is ready. Love him or hate him, Gibson is not getting any better. We should trade him while his value isn't completely tanked. Whether Stolarz or Dostal takes the throne doesn't matter. We're not making the playoffs, so we might as well get some serious assets from Gibson. Dostal will be our next number one goalie, and a change of scenery will be good for both Gibson and the Ducks. Now, I'm not going to disagree that a change of scenery wouldn't be great for Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm not 100%. I haven't seen enough of Dostal in the NHL to be comfortable just like giving him like 40 games, let's say.
Yeah.
So, and I say 40 games because Dostal and Stolarz have worked as a tandem before, like the two of them together down in San Diego. I personally haven't seen enough. Gibson is still day to day. Who knows? Maybe when Gibson comes back, Stolarz is still going well. We're gonna run him for a little bit.
Yeah.
At the same time, is he waiver eligible?
Stolarz?
Yeah. Or no, sorry, not Stolarz.
Dostal?
Dostal, yeah.
Oh, I think we looked.
Oh, he's waivers exempt. He's waivers exempt.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because he's on emergency loan.
I think just in general, he's waivers exempt though because of his.
Yes, you are right, but
I'm of experience
just because of his status though. I just saw was emergency loan.
Yeah.
Maybe Gibson comes back for the game against LA here, or even the home game against Minnesota on Wednesday. Maybe he's back for that. Eric Sinek is back down in San Diego, and they go, you know what? Let's see a little bit more of Dostal actually, right? And we run with him for a little bit more until we have an idea of where Stolarz is.
Yeah. After not only providing stability in the Montreal game, where the Ducks were up, blew the lead, and then Dostal kept them in it so that they could get the win, that in itself is a massive change from this season. And then also just the performance he put up against Edmonton too. You can't not give that kid another game in the NHL before sending him down after those performances. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gibson and Stolarz are back and ready for December. For Tuesday against LA. You healthy scratch Anthony Stolarz so that you can play Lucas Dostal in one of those two games against LA and Minnesota, because he has earned it. At that point, that is a massive slap in the face to Dostal if he does not get another start this week.
It's a little bit of circumvention, I think. I wouldn't even healthy scratch Stolarz. You just leave him on the IR, I think.
Oh,
anyway.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's not that I don't have faith in him, right? It's just I haven't seen enough to say that he is 100% ready for
Yeah.
the NHL. I want to believe he is, and everything is directing to that point. Don't get me wrong, right? He's doing fantastic in the AHL. We saw him in person a couple weeks ago, right? Like, and he's as advertised. Everything I've seen of him is as advertised, right?
Yeah.
And that, this post is right in saying that, like, he is to be the next number one goalie. I'm not disagreeing with any of this necessarily. I'm just saying not yet. I'm not ready to give the reins just yet.
Yeah. I think
Now,
if you do make a trade, it's not for John Gibson, because that puts way too much pressure on either Stolarz or Dostal, whoever. Potentially both, even if you say, okay, you guys are splitting it 41 and 41, or 50-50 for the rest of the season, I suppose. I guess that's 25 and 25 if you traded Gibson like tomorrow. And I don't think that's fair to either of them. I think in an ideal world, Stolarz is held out until the new year with his injury and hopefully makes a full recovery with whatever it is he's got going on, since we have no idea. And then so you continue to play Dostal, even if Gibson comes back. Dostal gets a few games here and there, and I'm sure Gibson understands, like, okay, we need to see what we have in this kid. And then at some point before the trade deadline, you trade away Anthony Stolarz to a team that their backup goalie went down and they're in the hunt for the cup and they need a backup goalie. And then for the rest of the year, you run Gibson and Dostal, even if Dostal falls off and, teams figure out he has one or two weaknesses that he now needs to work on, and they just exploit the shit out of it. It doesn't matter, because those games of experience for Dostal are invaluable to me. And I think next year you have to run Dostal in the NHL. It's how old is this guy? 22?
Yeah.
He's ready.
He will be up next year.
Yeah.
The question is it going to be behind Gibson or with someone else?
Yeah, and I think that is more of a question for the offseason maybe, but I think for now, depending on how the next week goes, like if he just all of a sudden shits the bed now, then it's like, okay, that was a flash in the pan. These sucky games are probably also a flash in the pan. That just shows to me he's not ready. He needs more time in the AHL for next season. But, if he continues along putting up decent performances, given the team that's in front of him, he should be the second goalie for the rest of this year and next year, whether it's with Stolarz, whether it's with / behind John Gibson, or whether it's with insert free agent goaltender that the Ducks sign after trading away John Gibson in the offseason, sort of thing. Like, it's Dostal needs to be playing 30 to 40 games next season in the NHL.
I could see 30 for sure.
Yeah, and the 40 is dependent on who he's with. If it's Stolarz, 40. Split it 50-50, in my opinion. But if it's with John Gibson, 25-30. Yeah.
Now I'm kind of taking a look at, because if you're moving Stolarz, that's a team that is looking for a backup in case something goes wrong on a playoff run.
Yeah, or their backup goaltender went down with a season-ending injury middle of January.
Yeah, or just a goalie went down with a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
Just basically you're looking for a guy that can be, because Stolarz is a backup, right?
Yeah.
A tandem goalie at most.
Yeah,
he could be, I think. If you're trading John Gibson, you're trading to a team that is like on the cusp of contention, I would say.
Yeah, and their weak spot is that goaltending position. Yeah.
Or just a team even that goaltending is the weak spot overall.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, I think ideally Gibson would want to go to the contending team, and with his modified nose trade, I forget the deets on that, but it's
so that's where
a 10-team no trade list. So odds are he's going to a top 20 team in the league.
So that's where, because was he younger? Sure. Was he a lot younger than the average of when NHL goaltenders get in the NHL? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we've seen John Gibson, even this season, we've seen when John Gibson plays well, right? Now imagine if he had a team that wasn't leaving him out to dry every night.
Yeah.
Right? It would be a lot better.
He would be very similar in I think you could draw a lot of comparisons with him and like Carey Price just in like the calmness of the way he would play in front of like a good
Yeah.
team.
If or not, it doesn't even have to be a good team, just defensively. If the defensive aspects of the team are adequate,
Yeah.
John Gibson will do just fine.
Mhm.
Right? Because like we've literally seen it this season. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there have been games that Gibson has not been great, and we've talked about them, right?
Mhm.
But even with that, the team in front of him has not been great either, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. When he gives up a bad goal on a low danger shot attempt, it's because he just made 3 high danger saves in a row.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And yeah, or it's just a game that he's off, because we have seen those as well, right? Where it seems like he wouldn't be able to stop a beach ball.
Yeah.
I'm taking a look right now at the teams, or just at goalies with like the worst like goals against right now, and let's see if we can even take a look at save percentage. Teams that are sticking out to me, Columbus is one. They're just struggling all around.
Yeah.
But that's a team that seems poised to be able to kind of build up fairly quickly.
Mhm.
And it does, like, it apparently is a place that people want to go to now.
Apparently.
So, like,
Yeah.
Patrick Laine wanted to stick around in Columbus.
Yeah.
Johnny
I think
Gaudreau
yeah.
just went there this year.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they're doing a lot of good things, and like the management is very much like pro player as well.
Yeah.
So I think
they're trying. They're trying at least.
Yeah.
So they just still have a little bit more work to do. But like, that's an idea. It's a division over, but I know Vejmelka in Arizona is not going to be long term, I don't think. Vejmelka's contract is up, I think, after next season.
No, he's got 2 more.
Or 2 more? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in that case, you're maybe looking for something for when Arizona is competitive in 2 or 3 years, right?
Mhm.
Chicago maybe even after this season, right? Because again, there's a team piling draft picks as well that like that is a hockey market as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I
don't know. Honestly, like
it's within the division,
Yeah.
and I know Jack Campbell just signed a 5-year deal. But Edmonton can't be relying on Stuart Skinner alone.
Yeah.
This season, right?
See, I obviously think that as well, but I don't like to be the one to say it. But the in-division team I was thinking would maybe be Seattle. Like, I know they've got a good thing going with what's his name? Jones?
Yeah.
No. Yes, Jones. Yeah. But like, how long is that going to last? Like, this team is taking decent steps. You bring in John Gibson, that just like, I think that propels them from where they're 15th in the league right now into like top 10.
The issue that I have with Seattle though is that they also have Philip Grubauer on that contract.
Yeah.
So they're they're kind of handcuffed with that, I think.
You just buy out Grubauer and eat your loss on that one, maybe.
So that would be a hefty. Actually, you know what? Cap Friendly lets me see what the buyout would be on that, because true. Okay, let's put it this way. Grubauer is, I think, 2 years older than Gibson. Yeah, 2 years older than Gibson, and their contracts end the same year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Okay, where is the... Is there not a... Where's the buyout calculator? I know there's a way you can do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Calculator, here we go. Calculators, buyout calculator. Here we go. Team Seattle Kraken. And goaltender, Philip Grubauer. Oof, yeah. That's the buyout. If they were to buy out Grubauer
in the offseason.
Yeah. Less than the minimum for next season, so that helps.
Mhm.
Yeah, the cap hit against would be 660 grand.
Okay.
But then it bumps up to a little over $1 million. Then it bumps again to 2.3. And then the height of it is the last year of Grubauer's contract at 3.4 million against the cap.
Ooh.
Mind you, the cap it was supposed to go up, and now
In 3 years, it's supposed to be up 10 million from where it is now. However they get there, but that's kind of the projection.
yeah. And I don't know if that necessarily changed with the Board of Governors meeting or the last week or so, because Bettman was out there saying that like now next year might still only be $1 million increased.
Yeah.
It's Bettman's a lawyer, and fuck that dude. Not that I hate lawyers, just he is too lawyery, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so after where Grubauer's contract would end, then it's
not
$2 million for the next 4 years.
Damn. Yeah, so it's not ideal for Seattle, probably. The other one, and this is entirely dependent on what happens with Jordan Binnington, because there's rumors he
that's not
could be going somewhere, like change of scenery, all that kind of stuff.
Europe?
Like potentially, yeah. Either getting traded to another NHL team or going to Europe because Craig Berube is sick of his shit. But I mean, potentially St. Louis could be in the market for another different goaltender as well, just shaking things up. Where's Gibson from? I feel like I should know this.
Pittsburgh,
right? Yeah.
And there's the ties there because because he wants to go home, and
So
the only other place that I can think of, and it's in the division, and people are going to hate me for saying this, which is why I'm not going to stick on it too long. You know what team has sucked goaltending wise this year?
Vancouver.
Nope. The LA Kings.
Oh yeah, no. I thought about that too. I was like, ooh, what about And then I was like, wait, this is Anaheim.
Now that's where I'm going to go back to. You're going to see a lot of 3-way deals.
Yeah.
Now that's one I don't.
That's the inadvertent 3-way deal where it's like, we're going to trade you to Arizona, and then Arizona's like, hey, LA. You want
that's the Ottawa, San Jose. Okay, we'll take on Mike Hoffman, and then San Jose immediately flipping Hoffman to Florida.
Yeah.
So then when the Erik Karlsson trade happens, Ottawa says you are not allowed to flip this player to somebody in our division. Like that's a condition in the trade.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, long story short here is that yes, Dostál looks good and he should be in the NHL going forward, but
it's a next year thing.
Let's pump the brakes on trading John Gibson. Just hold the phone, put it in park, pull over to the side of the road, put it in park, step on the parking brake.
Yeah.
And then let's figure things out. Let's slow our roll a little bit.
Because even like a retention of, because I guarantee somebody's going to want a retention on Gibson's contract.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because he's making 6.4.
Yeah.
So
at least a 25% retention. I would say.
So what would 25% be here?
4.8, I think.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You fucking accountant, you
nerd. Big old
nerd. Like that's a lot more appeasing, I think, to a lot of teams, especially for the next 4 seasons, at a guy that is age-wise, on average, should be in his prime right now.
Yeah, and hasn't put up numbers that show that.
Yeah.
So,
Gibson's numbers, like again, he hasn't, especially at the start of the season, he was not having great games.
Mm-hmm.
Gibson's save percentage and goals against are for sure a lot more reflective of the team in front of him.
Yeah.
If it depends on the return for Gibson, and if we're able to see more of Dostál, that he continues to play. I'm gonna call it just over 900 hockey, actually.
Mm-hmm.
In the rest of his games, kind of thing.
Which is essentially above average for this season.
Yeah, because I think the league average this season is like a 904, 905.
Yeah, with scoring going up. If you're above 900, you're in pretty decent shape. So
yeah, like if we consistently see that, then that's where I go, okay, maybe you could do something along the lines of a Gibson, or for sure be happy with the Stolarz trade, I
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
If it's kind of fluctuating and it's still that he's very young and whatnot,
Hmm.
I like Stolarz, but I'm more comfortable in that trade at least. And then with Gibson, my thing is that Gibson will never, on his own, like of his own decision, I guess, be a tandem goalie.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, it would be happening this season with Stolarz, I think, because
Hmm.
it's not working over the last few years for him.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the team in front of him; it's just not working.
Yeah.
Um. So that's my only thing with it.
Hmm.
But if Dostal can consistently show over the next bit that he is ready to and puts up NHL numbers,
Hmm.
then we can start talking, say, middle of January. Again, depending on how long Stolarz is out and Dostal's up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then we can start talking maybe about, okay, what's just any goaltender's future here in
Hmm.
Anaheim.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. You had another overall thing you wanted to say here. Do you want to
Yeah,
still talk
sure.
about that?
I'm not apologizing yet because, like Dostal, I want to see more first before I say anything definitive. Uh, we talked about how kind of like joking of like, oh yeah, team listens to us and kind of does things, and I put a tweet out there of like, oh yeah, like the team listened to our last episode and took it personally.
Yeah.
The one guy that definitely took it personally was John Klingberg.
I'd say so.
Now, mind you, his defensive numbers not great still over the two
Hmm.
games against Montreal and Edmonton.
But what else is new?
On the offensive side, though, which is what we brought him in for, to be a power play quarterback, right?
Hmm.
He didn't do it there still. Mind you, I don't think he actually really got a whole lot of time in either game on
I
the
would be
power
surprised if
play.
we got any, honestly.
Here, I have the Edmonton numbers still up here. You got 45 seconds of power play time.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Fowler got the most, and then Shattenkirk and Klingberg got 45 seconds each.
Hmm.
So yeah, like his defensive numbers weren't great. Didn't do a whole lot, or I guess hasn't been able to do a whole lot on the power play, which as he's been playing, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
So he said, fuck it, I'll do it 5-on-5 then.
Not once.
And over 2 games, John Klingberg has had 3 shots on net,
Mhm.
resulting in 3 goals.
So,
Now, I'm also not going to say that, oh shit, John Klingberg is on fire. We talk about luck in the Edmonton game. John Klingberg has also been pretty
yeah.
lucky.
Yeah,
Just
what did
gonna
you
say.
say his individual expected goals
So
were?
let's take a look at the Edmonton game here because I have that still up, and then I'll pull up the Montreal one here in a second.
Okay.
So in Edmonton, his expected goal percentage in all situations, 35%. And his expected goals for was 0.3 for the game. And I'm just gonna double check, just make sure that it is lined up here with like in the expected goals. Where'd you go now? Oh no, sorry, yeah. Expected goals. Oh no, I guess sorry. Okay, yeah. Sorry, his actual expected goals for was 0.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
pretty low. But.
Yeah, the expected goals being like the differential.
Mhm.
0.04. So, like I said, his defensive numbers weren't fantastic as well. His expected goals against for that game was 0.6. So,
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, I can pull up the Montreal numbers here because I don't think I need anything else for this Edmonton game offhand.
No, I think we're good.
Thursday. Here we go. Montreal game. Let's take a look here. Where is John Klingberg in all situations? John Klingberg was shooting 46.9, so 47% expected goal percentage. His expected goals for this game were 0.6 or 0.66, so that's better. He also had 2 shots compared to 1, but his expected goals against 0.7. So yeah, this game he ran a 0.09 expected goals and put up 2 on 2 shots.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And now if we want to continue further down the luck rabbit hole for John Klingberg and his goals, let's take a look at the second goal for Klingberg there that I think was the that was the game winner. That was a 3-2 goal. Yeah. Back-to-back game winners as well for John Klingberg. Fuck.
I'm sure the 1% of people that have him rostered on their fantasy leagues were ecstatic this week.
If anybody even still has him.
That's why I said 1%.
So that goal there's a cut in front. I forget who it was, but brings the defenseman Harris from Montreal with him across the crease. And Harris bumps into Jake Allen and knocks him on his ass, which results in Klingberg. Like, this is happening as Klingberg is winding up. And so Allen is not able to make a save, like, at all. Right. Yeah, and Klingberg puts it top corner. So basically you're shooting at an empty net with a few people around, I guess. Like, luck.
Yeah.
you don't get me wrong. Like, you need luck sometimes to, like, win games, to do well, that sort of thing. Like, I'm not bashing on luck, but the last 2 games have been luck.
Very, very for John Klingberg. Very, very lucky.
So that is why I am not apologizing yet. I'm going to be a stubborn bastard and not apologize. So.
And you know what? Sometimes that is all you need, is just a little bit of luck to go in your favor. And you're like, you know what? Monkey off the back. Here we go. It's John Klingberg season, baby. Fucking 20 goals or 25 goals in the last 50 games of the season for John Klingberg. And just it's possible. That could be really all he needs to just turn into the John Klingberg we expected.
If the dude goes off, I can't wait to see the return.
It's gonna be awesome. Some poor sucker team is gonna pay just out the ass for an offensive power play specialist for essentially $3.5 million, because we'll probably retain half. And it's going to be sweet.
And that'll be with like a quarter left of the season even as well. So there's even less to actually pay out in actual dollars.
Yeah. We could potentially get a first round pick for John Klingberg if.
I think that was the original idea.
Yeah. But if the rest of the season, it's like, okay, you know what? I was just trying to fit into this new team because I've been in Dallas for the last 8 years of my career, and like that's the only other place I've been. So you know what? It took some time to figure out, but you know what? I'm back. That could literally be it. So
I'm going to Galaxy Brain here. What is? Let me take a look here.
What are you looking for? A potential team?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Never mind. Okay. I was going to say reunion with Dallas. No, their first power play unit is Miro Heiskanen.
Oh, yeah.
They're backing that.
They're doing fine. Yeah. Good.
It's Guryanov on the second one with Suter, Seguin, Johnston, Marshman. That first power play unit, though, Jesus Christ. Pavelski, Ben, Robertson, Hansen, Heiskanen. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's not even fair, man.
But. And Dallas is 8th for power play percentage, 25.8%.
Yeah.
Buffalo's at 30% for second in the league. Holy shit.
Jeez. Speaking of scoring goals, we're gonna take you back a little bit here to Tuesday night before the Washington Capitals faced off the Chicago Blackhawks. Alex Ovechkin was sitting at 797 career goals in 1,300 and I guess, what would that be? three, four, one, a little over 1,300 games. So insane numbers, and third all time in goals scored in the NHL in your career. And not only does he move one step closer to a historic career, what is already, or to improving his already historic career, I should say, he takes 3 massive leaps forward and makes it so that he scores his 800th goal against the Chicago Blackhawks on Tuesday night, making him the 3rd player ever to do that in NHL history, and puts him just one back of second all time, or tying second all time with Gordie Howe, who is a legend in his own right for all time goals scored in his career. And
I rewatched. There was like a couple of CBC movies that were made for like the Don Cherry. There's a Gordie Howe one as well.
Oh yeah.
And I rewatched it. I think it was last week actually. And that whole movie is about like the first year of the Howe family moving to Houston and that season with the Arrows and the WHA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordie was something for sure. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
Old-time hockey at its best.
Yeah. So, yeah, with a hat trick against the Chicago Blackhawks, Alex Ovechkin breaks NHL history with 800 goals. And props to Blackhawks fans as well, given him the recognition that he deserves for that. Like, they were loud, they were cheering him on. Even the Blackhawks players, like, you could tell they weren't happy about it because they were getting absolutely blown out at home for that. But like, you could tell that they still had respect there for Ovechkin. The whole team coming on to celebrate and all that was just fantastic. So for that, Alex Ovechkin, for your first goal of the hat trick, that was a big energy move. Your second goal to put you at 799, a big energy move. And then making it so that your 800th NHL goal, which puts you at the 3rd player ever to do that in NHL history, a big energy move.
It's such an Ovi way to do it as well.
Oh, of course, right? Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. So congrats to him.
Yeah, so he's sitting at 800 right now.
Yeah.
The Gordie Howe in second is 801, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many games did Gordie do that in? Do you know? Do you have that up?
A lot less.
A lot less.
See, now one thing I don't know for certain actually is if Gordie Howe's numbers, because of the merge of the NHL and the WHA, if that includes the numbers that he put up in the WHA as well. I don't know that for sure, actually. If somebody does, let me know.
I'm not sure about that with Gretzky either, honestly. So
the thing with Gretzky, though, is he only had one season, I think, in the WHA.
Oh, so it's not like as big of a
difference. I think he only had a season or two because he was with who was he? The something Racers.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then got, I think, traded to Edmonton. And that was either the season before or the season that the WHA merged with the NHL and Edmonton became an NHL team.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gordie Howe his 801 was just in the NHL in 1,767 NHL games. And then he had 174 goals in 419 in the WHA.
Jesus.
So actually, Ovechkin is actually on pace to do that in less games in the NHL than Gordie Howe. Just absolutely nuts.
Ridiculous.
I mean, not on pace. Like, unless it takes him 400 games, 450 games to get 2 goals. But I don't think he has that many games left in him. So,
okay, I got 2 things here. They're gonna kind of go. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna go back and forth here. Okay. This was a graphic that was put on. This was an r/hockey. When was this here again? A year ago. So this is from last season, and I remember seeing this stat actually, and it was fucking wild, and it's kind of returned again over the last little bit. So this was when Ovechkin was at 749 goals.
Mhm.
And so this is the top goal scorer since 2005, 2006. Where's the picture here? There we go. Okay, so this includes so just before I pull up the graphic as well for those that are watching. This includes Sidney Crosby, Steven Stamkos, Eric Stahl, and Evgeny Malkin, rounding out the top 5.
Okay.
Ovechkin 749 goals, Crosby 488. Like, just to show how pure of a goal scorer Ovechkin is.
Yeah.
Stamkos, who has put up a 60 goal season, like I think more recently than Ovechkin. I might have to double check that one. At 450 goals, yeah. Eric Stahl 430 goals. Evgeny Malkin 424. So this was at the time as well. Like, these numbers are all different, but just to give you like a frame of reference here of like how much of a goal scorer Ovechkin is. We know Ovechkin likes to throw the body as well. I didn't realize it was this much though. Take a look at this. Compared to those 3 guys,
he has more than all of not quite more than all of them. It's pretty close.
So we'll go from for goals, we'll go from 5 up. So in terms of hits, Evgeny Malkin with 424 goals at the time, 576 hits. And Malkin likes to lay the body too, right? He's another big Russian dude. Which, fun fact, it was a couple of seasons ago. I took my girlfriend to go watch Calgary play Pittsburgh, and I got us seats that were like, I think 2 or 3 rows from the corner. That was the first time I'd seen Milan Lucic in person. I was like, yeah, he's a big dude. And then Malkin skated by, and I was like, no, that's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Okay, and then Eric Stahl, 897. Stamkos also really likes to throw the body around at 929 hits at the time. Crosby, 897. And then Ovechkin, 3,160.
The other 4 guys combined for hits that are on this here, Crosby, Stamkos, Stahl, and Malkin, combined for 3,299 hits at the time.
Jesus Christ.
Which is 139, only 139 more hits than Ovechkin has thrown. It's nuts, man.
And then, okay,
this is Russian hockey at its finest right here.
I was trying to pull it up on my iPad, but it's not. The NHL app is not liking what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to pull up Ovechkin's page, but it's just giving me like the little sidebar of it. And I'm like, no, just give me the whole thing.
Oh, I've got it here. You want his hits?
Yeah, his hit total now.
Career hits?
Does it have that?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't know, man.
Hockey Reference has to, right?
They don't want to know they don't want people to know how violent their sport is. But yes, Hockey Reference will have it. Literally any other site will.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't get why they don't show that. It's so dumb. They literally only show like offensive stats.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so hits weren't calculated apparently, or at least Hockey Reference doesn't have 2005, 2006, and 2006, 2007 for Ovechkin, so like his first 2 seasons for hits. So from 2007 till today, 3,114.
Okay. So yeah, we're really.
So then I guess whatever.
A couple seasons there.
Yeah, but like that is ridiculous. His season
nuts, yeah.
high for hits in a season was the 14-15 season. He played 81 games, so he only missed 1. And if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the first times he backed out of the All-Star game. If I'm not wrong about that. 81 games, 259 hits.
Wow. Looking at
It's an average of 3.2 hits per game.
Yeah, that's a fair amount of hits. That's for sure.
There's a great documentary actually. It's about 20-25 minutes on YouTube as well. I think it was The Score that did on Ovechkin. I've been watching a few of those lately, just like late night viewing when I was done banging my head against the wall for schoolwork, which I'm finally done, by the way. Finished it yesterday. Thank fuck.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. But yeah, that's a great documentary actually, just on Ovechkin, just like him growing up and like his NHL career. And I think it ends about like a season or two ago. But it's really good. And there was also ones of Crosby, Lemieux, Yager was a great one to watch. I love that one. So yeah, definitely go search those out though if you can. But like I remember when we started this show, and again, like we're only in season 4, like still 3,
not that long ago, yeah.
What, 3 3/4 of like a hockey season ago, right? And like that was kind of like when the conversation started of like, oh, do you think he could go for Gretzky's record? Do you think he could? And like I remember we had that conversation. We're like, that's like it's a long stretch. The math didn't like add up great for him and anything like that. And like
you have to play for a while at the same pace, and
yeah. And now we're just like it's when,
yeah,
and it's what's he? Oh yeah, he's at 800. And what's the record again?
894.
894. The guy's hitting it next. The guy's hitting it next season. Honestly,
no.
No.
Are you serious,
dude? We're a third of the. Not even.
Nope. Get out of here, Siri. Okay. Okay. What does he have this season? Let's do the math, because I honestly think it's going to be like
he has 20 goals already this season.
20 goals in 33 games. Times, we'll assume he plays the full 82. He'll finish with 50 goals. So we add on another 30. So 830 goals. That means that to hit it next season, he would then have to score. I hit something wrong. He would then have to score 64 next season, or more than 50 that like this season. Like that's a lot. I think if he hits 50 this season, and it'll be mid to late, what would that be? Not 23, 20, 24, 25. He'll hit it, which he's signed. I think that's the last year of his contract. Is that not? I still have cap.
Ovi's a guy that, and this was brought up on the Steve Dangle podcast as well. And like I was kind of thinking about it too. Ovi's a guy that like when a milestone is in reach, he goes into overdrive for it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm 3 away. I'm 3 away from 800. Sure, let's throw up a hat trick.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. He's signed through 25-26. So if he plays out the rest of this contract, he's going to hit it. No problem.
Which like everybody looked at that contract. I remember like that was only like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I think. And it was another case of, and here you go, to loop it all back to the start of the episode. It was another case of a what you did for me contract.
Yeah.
Right. That everybody, like a lot of people kind of looked at, including myself, and went, okay, that might kind of hit you hard later. Again, assuming he's regressing. This guy's not stopping.
No.
He's not.
He put up a 50 goal season last season. He put up 25 in the shortened season of 45 games. So essentially the same pace. And he put up 48 in 1920, which again was cut short. So he should have hit 50. 51 before, 40. Like he's basically been putting up the 50 goal pace since 17-18. And actually
ridiculous.
Realistically, he's been putting up a 50 goal pace since 13-14, with the exception being 16-17, where he only had 33 goals in 82 games. And then the other seasons where he didn't put up 50 were shortened seasons.
Oh my God.
So.
And to think about that, like he could have beaten this record like 2 or 3 years ago.
At this point, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because his first year in the NHL got pushed because of the season lockout.
Yeah.
He lost another half season in 2012, 2013. And then, COVID took a few games off as well.
Mhm.
And just for good measure, let's throw in the fact that Gary Bettman is butthurt that Alex Ovechkin wants to help his team win and punishes Ovi for a game for not going to the All-Star game when it
Yeah.
hasn't been worth it over the last few years. When Ovi went, the All-Star game and the skills competition were worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Overall. So
Also, honestly, he has the potential to score, like, not only break the record in for goals for Wayne Gretzky, but to do it in less games too.
yeah.
So obviously he's not going to touch the points in that game.
No.
No one, literally nobody ever will. But
No.
for goals, like,
because what's the thing? I think it's like if you were to take off all of Gretzky's goals, his points would still be the leading in the NHL, like in the NHL
yeah,
record books.
yeah, he has like
we're-
1,963 assists in his career.
Jesus
Like just
Christ.
that alone demolishes the second guy, whoever
Yeah.
that, like whatever they have. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. But
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for him to break it next year.
it would take a lot, but I think realistically,
It would take a lot, but we're talking about Ovechkin here,
yeah, whatever. We're not.
where he's just like
we're not talking
continually
about this
been
anymore, so.
defying the odds.
Yeah.
So, last thing to really round it out, we'll just do this really quickly. Did you see now the round out Patrick Kane?
Mhm.
Did you see Patrick Kane almost end his career to make sure that Ovi didn't get 800
Yeah.
against the Blackhawks? Holy fuck!
Yeah, unsuccessfully tried to prevent the goal, and he almost murdered himself.
God,
Yeah.
I saw that and I went, speaking of the All-Star game, I went back to him being like dressing up as Superman for the skills competition in what was that, 2014 maybe?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, where like the guy flew, like he was still in the air crossing the goal line.
Yeah.
Like I watched that and I was like, how did you not break your neck? How are we not seeing you at least day to day right now with like just like a bruised neck even? I'm like, dude, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Guy got lucky. If
Yeah,
you're not sure what I'm talking about, by the way, if you're listening to this, I don't blame you because everybody's focused on Ovechkin.
Mhm.
Right? Even like
Yeah.
the Blackhawks are focused on Ovechkin.
Yeah.
But go take a look at the clip and watch Kane just like full speed from the other end of the ice, basically, and just launch himself over whoever it was. And yeah.
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
something anyways. Yeah. Okay. To wrap up, we're going to get into upcoming games. Tuesday, we will be in LA at 7:30 Pacific time for that one, which it's also the first game of the season against LA, which I'm shocked. I swear we've played them before, but evidently we have not. So
Have not.
yeah. Nate, do you have some stats here for the LA Kings?
Yeah, the LA Kings are at home. They have a winning record of 8-5-2. Currently on a 2-game winning streak, just like our Ducks, and a 5-3-2 last 10.
5-3-2. Not bad. Yeah, and as we mentioned before, like their goaltending hasn't been fantastic,
and yet
this season.
Okay,
they're outscoring a lot of their mistakes.
Take a look at this. So Vegas, so the Pacific Division, Vegas, LA, Seattle. Vegas is a plus 19 for goal differential. Seattle's a plus 6. LA is a negative 10.
And they're second in the division.
Both wild card teams in Edmonton and Colorado are currently beating the Kings in plus minus.
Yeah.
The first team out of the wild card in Calgary is beating LA with a negative 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know what's going on with them and how they are so high, but it's nuts. So Kevin Fiala, I guess the biggest addition for them recently. I can't remember if he was a deadline. No, he was an off-season.
Oh, excuse me.
Playing online with Kopitar and Adrian Kempe, so that's terrifying. Yeah, and then everything else is kind of the same. We've seen them lots before, and then Quick and I guess Phoenix Copley as the backup there. So
yeah, I want to keep the good vibes going, but at the same time, I know this team, or I feel like I know this team at least. I don't know. They proved me wrong the last couple of days. Uh, I'm gonna be the optimist.
Oh wow.
3 games. They're gonna go 3 games in a row.
Okay.
It's gonna be a close one though. It's gonna be 3-2.
3-2. In this economy? No way. Also, we were way off for Montreal and Edmonton. We were predicting big shutouts on all sides, and nope, they proved us wrong. So,
yeah. That's a 5-2.
5-2. Thank you.
Yeah.
5-2.
I was gonna say I'm only a goal away. I guess. Yeah, you got close for Montreal's goal total.
Yeah, I guess.
You're one
sort
off.
Of. Yeah. So yeah, and then yeah, what do I think? I don't know. Like, I have a hard time predicting 3 in a row for this team.
Yeah.
But
like
also,
I said, I'm rolling with the good vibes.
With how LA is doing, yeah, I don't know. Man. There's no way it's 3-2. It's got to be 5-4.
5-4. All right.
Who's it in favor of, though? Just for the sake of being different, I want to say LA.
Go LA.
Yeah. But I honestly don't know. I'm pretty confident in the score, but not in the team. So, yeah. And then on the second half of a back-to-back, which means, yay, Lucas Dostál. We'll get to see him again, assuming that Gibson and Stellaris both don't come back. But we shall see. Hopefully we see Dostál in one of these games. Wednesday, we'll be at home starting a... sorry, I just want to make sure. Yes, starting a 10-game homestand that will stretch from December 21st of 2020 to January 13th of 2023. Nice. We'll be home to the Minnesota Wild. 7 p.m. Pacific time is when the puck drops there. Minnesota is on the first half of a back-to-back in this game. They will be in San Jose the next night to face the Sharks, obviously. And this will also be the last game of the season series. In terms of setting your prediction, and to remind you here, the first game was a 4-1 loss to the Wild, and the second game was a 5-4 shootout loss to the Wild. So, how do you think this one goes?
Okay, I'm going to run on the assumption that until it changes, I'm running on the assumption that we're running Dostál and Eriksson Ek for these 2 games.
Okay.
Before I make my prediction, I have a question for you, actually, and only yes or no. No explanation.
Okay.
All right, just for the sake of time here.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know how to frame this question exactly, actually. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's go like this. Do you trust putting Eriksson Ek in one of these 2 games? Just yes or no. No explanation.
No.
Okay.
But I think it happens.
Because I was kind of wondering if we might actually see Dostál play back-to-backs.
Yeah. Because you said no explanation, I'll save it. But
okay.
But
yeah, we can text off air or whatever.
Yeah, sure. No, but he plays is my short answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Minnesota. It's going Minnesota's way, I think. Okay. Second half of a back-to-back. Guy's gonna be tired. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
Okay. Has Eriksson Ek played in the NHL?
That I can recall.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh God, stupid elite prospects and their page limit. Boycott.
I got you.
No, does not look like he has.
No.
So, okay.
So one of these games could potentially be his first ever start.
Yeah.
Do you face him against the second in the Pacific LA Kings, or do you put him against the third in the Central, arguably the harder of the 2 divisions, Minnesota Wild?
Yeah. And like you said too, we could see Dostál in both of these games, but
yeah.
But either way,
and again,
tired Dostál against Minnesota or goalie making his NHL debut in Eriksson Ek against Minnesota.
Or against LA because they're.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I think he would play Dostál against LA just because state rivalry and look at the performance he just put up. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say this is going to be 5. 6-2, 6-3, 6-2 for Minnesota with probably a couple empty. Well, a empty net for sure. Well, actually, no, that doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I'm gonna say 6. I don't know. I just feel 6-2 Minnesota.
We have pulled the goalie with 3 goals down before.
Yeah. I guess probably what would happen is we pull the goalie down by 2, and then they get an empty net, and then they just score another one because.
So another San Jose game.
Similar to the San Jose game, except we just happen to have an extra goal. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for there. And again, like, I don't want to be the pessimist here, but like, I just want to, I want to win this prediction thing, and I think those couple games were maybe not like a flash in the pan, but like it's not going to be how this rest of the season goes. So
yeah, I get it.
So yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all we have here. So, unless you have anything else you want to add here, Nate?
I got nothing.
No, all good. Cool. Well, Nate, if people want to call you a John Klingberg hater and demand an apology from you, where can they do that at?
I'll tell you you're wrong on Twitter at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS. I'll tell you you're wrong now.
Yeah.
Again, I want to. At a Klingberg, I want like the next 2 weeks to be good. So, and not putting up like 0.09 expected goals.
There you go.
The defensive numbers have to get better also.
Yeah. And if you want to shame me for being a Ducks hater and predicting losses, you can do that at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. We are also on Twitter at Quack Report Pod. You can also find that same handle on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, where we will be live streaming post the Wild game on that YouTube channel and Twitch. Thank you guys for tuning in, and go Ducks go.